You're listening to Unmuted Love. Hi there, I'm C. Ushelman, and with 35 years as a marriage and family therapist and 25 years as a parent of 2 children I brought home from the foster care system, I want to welcome you here to Unmuted Love Podcast, the one place where nothing is off limits to say out loud about parenting children from difficult beginnings.
Stop for a minute, stop and breathe for a minute, long it over your head, try to listen instead, won't you? Think for a minute, who you want to be for a minute, don't get over your head, you're like everyone else, aren't you?
Sometimes it's real sweet around here, and sometimes it ain't so pretty, because this is 100% Unmuted Love. So let's go.
You'll be just
Hello parents, welcome to Unmuted Love. Last week I shared a little tip list for surviving the holidays, and today I thought I'd take just a little bit further into making holidays and vacations just a little more pleasant. This is just a little taste of what it's available in the Love Matters Parenting Society Therapeutic Parent Program. I hope you enjoy. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about vacation, summer vacation, going on vacation, holidays of any kind. As you know, our kids really suffer from anxiety. It's really one of the bigger things going on for them all the time. They're like little engines on the inside, just sort of vibrating. And then if you add change to the mix, any kind of change, you're going to get up regulation, right, into more anxiety because it creates fear of change, fear of the unknown, lack of predictability, uncertainty, all kinds of feelings inside the child. And that what that does is it brings out the need for them to control. When there is a vacation on the horizon, don't spend a lot of time telling your kids about it, right? Tell them the last day or so before they're going to go on a vacation. Then let them know that the vacation isn't going to be all that much fun. It's just going to be regular stuff. You're just going to get in the car and you're going to drive and you're going to get there and it'll all be fine. And tell them a little bit ahead of time about what's going to happen, but don't give them actual times and time frames because things happen and you may not be able to follow through, and then they're not going to be able to trust you. And that's really what it comes down to, right? They need to be able to trust you that what you say happens. And so you try really hard to not sort of set your kids up for these huge disappointments and this huge sense that you aren't really going to give them what you say you are. And trust is such a huge issue for them. They cannot tolerate the smallest bit of deviation from what is expected. So when you're going to have a holiday, let's say you're going to have a school holiday, try very hard to make it like downplay the excitement of it. On the day or so before the holiday is coming, you can let them know it's coming, and then they leave school and then they come home for the holiday, but let the holiday have structure, right? Just get yourself a whiteboard with days on it and then use a different color for each kid, and make sure you have a little bit of schedule for each kid on that calendar and have it be every single day. This sets them up, of course, for expectation. And so if you can't guarantee that thing, don't put it on the calendar. And if you're going to surprise them with something, don't amp up the surprise. I know you're really excited about being able to give them things, and that's like the beauty of childhood, but our kids can't take that kind of excitement. And so what you're doing is really setting them up to self-sabotage, because that's what goes on inside of them, right? They don't feel worthy of all this fun and excitement on a deep down level that they're not even aware of. And so they set into motion then sabotage. By the time the vacation or the fun time gets here, you don't want to go yourself, right? You want to punish them. You don't even want them to get to have any fun. So that's not really fair to them because it's just their nervous system that you're setting up. Be very thoughtful of the neurodiversity of your children when it comes to holidays. These are very different times for them, right? They can't predict it. They don't know what's going to happen. They don't know where they're going or how it's going to be or how you're going to be. They don't know anything, right? They're little people who are confused and they are dependent on you. That makes them scared, right? Anxious, and it sets into motion their control issues. So you're going to see a lot of that, and try really hard not to punish them for their control issues. They can't help it, right? I'm that way. If I feel really afraid, I start trying to control my environment. How about you? We're all just children grown up. So we really actually have some inclination of what it's like to be our children, because all we have to do is sort of check into our own feelings. Should we suddenly lose our job or lose our homes or lose something really important to us or have that be on the horizon? We're all going to get super anxious, and it's going to set into motion all kinds of things. For some people, it might be drinking, sabotage of running away, or it might be the instinct to just control it all and line it all out and make it all okay and just go through it without any feelings, for example. So there are lots of ways we go through feelings. And so if we can allow room for our kids to have these kinds of big feelings and how they manage them, it'll be a lot easier not to blame them for all their behavior. Again, as little notice as possible. If you are going to go on a vacation and leave them somewhere, make it seem like you're going to go like for a few weeks or a few days or however long your vacation is to do taxes or something dreadful, right? Because you don't want them to think that you're off having a great time while they're at home with, Aunt Sally or something. It's like, oh, great. And they're going to just blow it up. But instead, make it seem like you're going somewhere really terrible and that you don't even really want to go yourself. And so why would they even want to come? Okay, that's a much better plan for them than to think you're off, at the beach without them. It helps to have summer camps. I'm not kidding you. Summer camp will save your life. Find a summer camp. There are lots of them. Don't worry that your kid might get kicked out. Yeah, they might. And then find another one to go to, and so on and so forth. Now, they're going to come home with narrow bandwidth from a summer camp because summer camp is busy, busy, busy. All kinds of new people, all kinds of new activities and excitements, and that's going to flip their lid, and they're going to try and hold it together all day at the summer camp, and then they're going to come home and, of course, be tired and hungry, and out it comes. And then, boom, you're having, your typical meltdown from just too much. Summer camp is like that. Those are good experiences, though. They need to have them. They have time to be with others. If you are lucky and you're going to put them in a summer camp that's near your home, they might find that some of their friends are at the summer camp from school, and that's an awesome thing to do as well. Elicit support for yourself. If you're going to go on a holiday with them, you're going to take them on vacation, don't set yourself up for thinking this is a vacation for you. This is not a vacation for you. This is a vacation for them. You are going to come home on your last nerve. When you are preparing a vacation for your family, then you also at the same time need to prepare a return to the environment vacation for yourself, right? So when you come back from a vacation with the kids, there really needs to be some downtime for you. Arrange for sitters, arrange for, their grandparents to come and stay for a few days so that you, and if you have a partner, you and your partner can go off and rejuvenate. Otherwise, you will have been on a madhouse vacation for 2 weeks, and then you come home and it's like, oh, where's the vacation? I didn't get one. That's right, because you didn't plan it in. If you cannot set yourself up with these high expectations that your kids are going to have a great time, they're going to be so grateful they went, they're going to be so pleased, they're not. They're going to be tired and exhausted and freaking out and scared and anxious, and they're going to be little tyrants, and all that's going to happen on a vacation because their lids are flipped for the entire time. And then when they get home, they're not going to be grateful at all. They'll be happy they had a vacation. And you know what? They'll really enjoy the vacation in videos that you took of the vacation, and watch those videos later, because that's when they're going to enjoy their vacation, is when you're showing them the videos later. Because during that time, their lids are going to be flipped, and they're not really going to be having as good a time as you were hoping that they would have. So that's why, during these difficult years, try really hard not to overdo the vacation thing. The very first year I had my kids, we went on a Mexican vacation where we had to drive in the car for 2 hours to the airport, and then we had to get on the plane, and then the plane had some problems, so then we had to get off the plane and on a bus and ride a bus across the Bay Bridge over to Oakland and take another plane. I mean, this took all day on the first day of our vacation. Took another plane, then we flew in the plane all the way to Mexico, and then we got out of the plane in Mexico, and then we have to figure out how to get to wherever we're going. None of us speak Spanish. It was like, oh my God. So it was really a week nightmare in Mexico. Let me just say this to you. I learned a lot from that. That was the last vacation we ever had like that. Never went another time like that because that was insane. My son did not sleep all night long. Any night we were there, he cried nonstop. He was scared to death. And I mean, I ended up not having one wink of sleep for 5 days on this vacation. It was so much fun. The funny part is that now my kids talk about that vacation like it was the best thing. And I'm like, you did not have a good time. You did not. I'm just telling you now, kids, you did not have a good time. So that's the way it is. And so don't set yourself up by thinking it's going to be like a super fun time for you. If you're lucky, your kids may have some really super fun times and some good memories that they can hang on to because they're healed enough to do that. But not all kids are going to be healed enough to do that. So try to be thoughtful about where your kids are in their healing process and whether or not they can actually enjoy a Disneyland trip, for example. Well, those are the other trips, right? The Disneyland trips. Oh, yeah. I don't know what I was thinking, but Disneyland isn't really a fun place for kids who are brand new in your life, right? Because there are all these other parents and kids and screaming. It's like a mosh pit for strollers. And if your kids easily flip their lids, I mean, you're going to lose your kids in Disneyland because they're going to run away. They're going to run off. Oh, my goodness. I had the most exciting times in Disneyland. Be thoughtful about what you're doing. Our kids do not need grand holidays because they can't take advantage of them. Give them small, lovely experiences. Give them small bites of things. I mean, my children would have been just as happy going to downtown to the Hyatt and swimming in their pool and walking around downtown as though it was a completely different world. And then we could have just, not stayed on the tarmac for half a day and not had all those meltdowns probably. And then we could come home very quickly, like in 10 minutes. And that would be awesome, right? And I don't know why I never did that because honestly, I did that for myself a lot. When it was my time to go and take a break, I went right downtown or right to a bed and breakfast in town. That's how I got respite. And I love those times. I remember those times quite fondly. And I never left the city. So anyway, I'm hoping this helps you just prepare a little bit. This is not, huge brain, science. This is just the facts. And you are still a good parent if you're not taking them on grand vacations. You are still a good parent. Being a good parent has nothing to do with wild times. When they are ready to make use of a really super fun time because they're not as easily flipped, that's the time to take them. That's the time to go somewhere and really actually enjoy it. All right. Take care and remember, your love matters. Hey parents, this is C. Get the help you need to end destructive and chaotic behavior in your home while parenting children from difficult beginnings. I know you need help, and the Love Plus parenting model actually works. I'm inviting you to work with me personally for 6 months in my virtual therapeutic parent program, and I guarantee you results or 100% of your investment back. How is that for a blue ribbon deal? I'm looking forward to working with you. See you on the inside.
Stop for a minute. Stop and breathe for a minute. Long it over your head. Try to listen instead, won't you? Think for a minute. Who you want to be for a minute. Don't get over your head. You're like everyone else, aren't you? You could gain from being a bit nicer. Knowing to talk and when to shut your mouth.
The Unmuted Love podcast is hosted by me, C. Eshelman, attachment and trauma specialist at the Attach Place in Sacramento, California. Our podcast producer is the amazing Saya Clark, and our theme song is Nicer by Houses on the Hill, licensed through Epidemic Sound. Thank you for being such loyal listeners here on Unmuted Love. I'll see you all next week.
You'll be just fine.